Hi there, welcome to your Pick a Card Tarot readings for Aries season and the month of April. If you're watching this at a different time, that is also okay because energy is timeless. So just follow your intuition to pick the right reading that you are meant to hear today. We're going to start with a quick meditation. So I'm going to ring my singing bowl 3 times to give you some time to check in with your body and really arrive in this moment. And then we're going to look at the groups. Relax the space between your eyebrows and soften your gaze. Relax the corners of your nose. Part your lips and relax your jaw. Allow your face to just melt as you arrive in this moment, as you arrive in your body. Relax your shoulders and sink into your seat. Bring all of your awareness down, down, down to the center of your chest. Bring all of your awareness into your heart space. Notice the subtle sensations here and set the intention today to listen to your readings with your heart space, through your heart space. Meaning, listen for what emotionally resonates. Listen for what clicks for you. Listen for the messages that restore clarity and direction. Listen for what grounds you and pulls you back to reality. And now, if you're ready, you can open your eyes if they were closed and look at the 3 groups before you. For group 1, we have citrine quartz. For group 2, I believe this is citrine quartz as well, or it could be smoky quartz. And for group 3, we have black obsidian. Now soften your gaze. Just notice which group stands out to you. Where do you feel drawn? Where do you feel a pull? Where do your eyes come back to over and over again? And as I call out the groups, which number stands out to you? Is it group 1, group 2, or group 3? Now you don't have to think too hard. If you feel drawn to more than one group, you're welcome to listen to more than one reading. You might want to begin with your first choice and then go on to the next after. Once you've chosen your group, you can go down to the timestamps below and click on your reading, and I'll see you over there. If you chose group 1, citrine quartz, then this is your reading. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading. So we'll start with the Golden Universal Tarot deck for your current energies, and I might also get a couple of cards from Marcel's Oracle deck. So, what's going on with you, group 1? How have you been feeling? What's in your current energies, group 1? Group 1. What's in your current energies? Okay, let's get one more card. We have the Hanged Man as the only major arcana so far. We have the Five of Cups, a reverse King of Swords, and an Ace of Cups. It's nice. So let's start with the Hanged Man. So being the only major arcana here, this depicts the spiritual lesson in your situation, what you're supposed to learn from your situation. You could be feeling stuck, stagnant at the moment in some area of your life, where you could be feeling like life has come to a halt, a pause, and things are not flowing, and it's entirely out of your control. No matter what you do, you can't get life to move the way you want it to. And so the situation could be teaching you to surrender and to see things from a different perspective, to turn yourself upside down and make an uncomfortable sacrifice in order to really understand why you're going through what you're going through and what you have to learn from this situation. The universe is asking you to release control and surrender. So it could be that things are not going to flow until you actually allow yourself to surrender. In this situation, it looks like you're feeling negative. Instead of seeing the cups that are still up and holding water, you're looking at the cups that have spilled. And so you're feeling the negatives in your situation very strongly, and it seems like that's all you can focus on at this time. And with this card, we need to validate that experience. Spirit is saying this is a necessary part of your journey to go through. You actually have to feel negative at this time in order to move forward, to get to the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups and so on. So don't distract yourself by looking at the positives. See the cups that have spilled. See where things have gone wrong. See where you're unhappy, where there's discomfort, and learn from that. See how you can progress by actually focusing on what isn't working. Through knowing what you don't want, you learn what you do want. So you're going through this energy for a reason. Don't distract yourself. Be with the negative emotions. Be with what's coming up that doesn't feel good. The reverse King of Swords tells us that there could be some dishonesty. Perhaps you're not being fully honest with yourself right now. Perhaps you've been ignoring some truths that you're actually very aware of, but you haven't been able to fully honor. Perhaps you're not fully in integrity in the way that you want to be, and that could be why you're feeling negative in your situation. That could be what's causing discomfort, because maybe you are actually the King of Swords and you value integrity above all else. Maybe you really value being genuine and authentic and truthful, and that hasn't been your character lately. In some ways, you haven't been able to fully embody that, and that's bringing a lot of resistance and discord. So look at ways in which you can perhaps restore the King of Swords. How can you be more honest to yourself and with others? How can you restore integrity and speak your truth? How can you honor the truth above all else? Because it seems like that's what you really do care about. Otherwise, you wouldn't be feeling all of this discomfort, and the universe wouldn't be pushing you to feel the stagnancy so much. The universe is really your higher self. It's your God self. So you are misaligned in some ways, and the lesson here is to figure out why you're misaligned, what you've been doing to cause that misalignment, and to come back to restoring that flow so things can start moving again. We have the Ace of Cups as well, so this might have already happened to you, or it could be happening very soon, where you're moving to the brink of a breakthrough, where a lot of emotions are going to come forward to be released, where there's going to be a dramatic, energetic shift, a lot of realizations, but mostly at a feeling level, where the way you feel about yourself, the way you feel about the world is going to change. So you might have a big cry at some point, then take a nap, and wake up to an entirely different felt sense of reality. It could be a heart opening where you release a lot of stuck emotions in the chest. So maybe you're struggling to breathe a little bit at the moment. There could be a lot of density in your chest that you're holding. So this release can allow you to open your heart and feel into more of your heart center and the compassion that could have been lost recently. So all in all, there's an energetic shift that is happening, that has happened, or is going to happen soon, which will make you feel differently about your situation and yourself and restore more heart-centeredness. Now let's get a couple of Marcel's Oracle cards. Out with the old. So something about the way you've been dealing with this aspect of your life has to change. The old way isn't going to cut it anymore. You have to surrender the old way and open yourself up to a new approach. The old way isn't going to cut it anymore. You have grieving. So there might be a lot that you have to release right now, a lot that you're holding in your chest, a lot of sadness and sorrow and longing. Allow yourself to feel that. Be in this negativity until it begins to give, until it breaks open into the Ace of Cups, into an heart opening. That's what's needed right now. Grief turns into a recognition of love. Love. And that's what's needed here in your situation. Grieve until you feel the love again. Let's get one more card. We have censorship upside down. So what have you been dishonest about, and what do you have to come clean to yourself and to others about? Journal about this and how you might want to approach it. There's something you haven't been fully honest about, and it's time to come out of your cave and share your truth. Okay, let's get some work your light messages. You have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? So I think a lot of tenderness and care and patience is needed in your situation as you feel out the stuckness. I think that's really necessary here. Do not give yourself a deadline. Do not push yourself too much. Be really tender with your heart. Be slow and gentle and soft until the stuckness begins to give and, your emotions start to flow again. Yeah. What else? What does group 1 need to hear? Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So perhaps you're supposed to be sharing something with the public, with the world, a creation of some sort that you haven't let yourself, and that's what's bringing the discomfort and creating the stuckness. Your throat is blocked, and all the energy that is supposed to be flowing and coming through and out of you is getting stuck there. So part of speaking your truth is birthing the new creation and surrendering an old way and allowing a new way to come forth. This is also feeling entirely different about your situation as well, and how you see yourself, how you see the world, and what's possible, because it's a total paradigm shift. Through releasing your emotions, grieving, and really being with the process intimately, you can get to a point of shifting paradigms and feeling entirely different about what's possible in this time-space reality. So there's that also. There's also that message. Now let's get a Moonology card. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. So maybe what's held you back from sharing has been fear. Fear that if you do speak up, then it jeopardizes your safety, jeopardizes the safety of your loved ones. This could be in terms of, making a big, drastic career shift and worrying if money's going to continue to flow in, if the new path is going to be sustainable for you to take care of your family. It could also be the fear of being judged and holding an opinion that goes against the collective norm. So really being afraid of being othered and sensing the lack of safety in that, in having a different opinion and sharing that different opinion. But Spirit wants you to know that you're safe. Your loved ones are safe. There is support. You are held. And existence has chosen you to speak your truth. Existence has given you this truth to speak. So it is all according to plan that you have this energy that you are meant to create with. And existence wants you to now have the courage to move forward, to use this energy to create. Whatever you're going to create is going to be beautiful, and you are going to be safe in sharing that with the world. Your loved ones are going to be safe in that also. Now, let's get some near future energies and maybe additional advice as well, if Spirit has any additional advice. Okay, tell us more. You have a Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and a Tower. So I want to start by saying the sixes are great. We'd love to see this because the sixes carry a very calming, restorative energy. They come after fives, which always depict some sort of conflict. So to get to a six feels great. It's so restorative and gentle and smooth. And this is where you are headed. But first, you have to go through a tower moment, a breakdown, breakthrough moment. there has to be that straw that breaks the camel's back. You have to break the camel's back to really see what's going on. You have to get to, such an edge that you have no choice but to take a leap. Everything is building up for you to have your breakthrough, for the volcano to erupt, for you to finally wake up and say, that's it, no more. This is insanity. It has to stop here. So your tower falling apart is actually a really great thing, and you're going to be really glad that this happened. But when you go through it, it's not going to feel good. It never feels good to have to dismantle your worldview and your attachments like this. But in the aftermath, things are going to feel so smooth that you're going to be really glad you went through the tower moment. We have the Six of Swords, which is the feeling of being guided as you retreat. So you're going to feel like this man on the boat as the boat just takes you to calmer shores. It's a really restorative energy where you don't have to do too much. You just relax and trust that you are headed somewhere more peaceful, more gentle, more aligned. With the Six of Pentacles, this is the energy of reciprocity, of feeling balance, where you are giving as much as you are taking, and you are restoring this balance. You're giving as much as you can, and you're taking an equal amount too, in a way that feels right. So this could be in regards to the people that you have to really share your truth with. This could be in regards to the world, just finding a balance between your inner reality and outer reality. It's a feeling of, okay, now things are right. Now I have paid my debt and things are okay again. I don't owe anyone anything. I have come clean. So that's a really good feeling. And I'm really excited for you to get to this point of the sixes. Now let's get one more card before we go. Okay, I think this is advice. Oh, we have the High Priestess underneath. So the High Priestess is telling us you already know this. You have an inner knowing about what I'm going to say next. That you've grown really attached to your circumstances and the way things are. And it's time to let go. It's time to embrace change. You have gone too attached, too stuck in the old ways. The Four of Pentacles is feeling like you really have to hold on to your coins because you're afraid of other people taking it away. It's the feeling of lack and scarcity. But to this person, they think they're being smart. They think they are being sustainable. They're sustaining their finances. The truth is, this person has so much to evolve into before they really get their abundance, and they've mistaken this scarcity and this little bit that they have for abundance. So what's really needed here is change for you to go through your evolution, your lessons, and get to the 10 of Pentacles, which is true abundance, true stability, legacy, honor, success. You are not there yet. You have so much ahead of you. You don't want to stop here. There is so much more waiting for you. So don't get comfortable. Don't get stuck. Don't be too compliant with the way things are, because things can get better. So much better than you can imagine. so much more abundance is waiting for you than just 4 pentacles. You deserve the 10 of Pentacles, and that's literally in your future if you decide to go through your journey and learn all the lessons along your journey. So choose bigger and better. Don't get stuck in your comfort zone. And I'll leave your reading there, Group 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this resonated. This definitely resonated with me. I'm going to post a video either after this, or you might have already seen it if I decided to post it before this video. And I think you'll understand why this reading resonated with me also. And yeah, I just want you to know you're not alone in this. I'm really excited for your breakthrough and everything that's going to come following. We're in this together. Sending you so much love, light, and healing. Wishing you all the best. And I'll see you in another video or in another reading. If you chose Group 2, citrine quartz, or smoky quartz, then this is your reading. Hi Group 2, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So, we're going to start with tarot. I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot deck. And let's see what's in your current energies. Group 2, what do we need to know about your current situation? Group 2, what do we need to know? Group 2. Okay. Group 2. Can we get one more card, please? One more card. Okay, so we have 2 5s. We have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. We also have the Fool. So the 5s all depict conflict, but in their respective elements. With the 5 of Wands, this is conflict in terms of fire energy, in terms of action, and the creative energy that we feel, the life energy that we feel in our bodies. So it can often show up as anxiety or stress, feeling like there's so much you have to do and there's so much competition in the world and people you have to kind of fight over, and in order to get to, a good place in life. So feeling a lot of stress and competition and anxiety. And it's like the feeling of constantly like scrambling in order to find a sense of order. There's also the 5 of Swords, and this is disagreement. When ideas don't connect, when you feel disconnected in a conversation with somebody, your minds are not aligned. You're not seeing eye to eye, and therefore it causes disconnection. So perhaps you've had an argument with somebody recently. Perhaps a lot of emotions have been coming up in regards to a certain person in your life, a certain connection or relationship. And you're just really struggling to see eye to eye, and there's a lot of tension growing internally about how you feel about the situation and the person, and also just tension between the two of you or you and this group of people. There's disconnection, stress, and potentially anger as well, and rage. Yeah, so picking up on a disagreement and tension. And then we have the Fool, which maybe I should get a clarification card on. Let's see what it means in your case in the current energies part of this spread. Clarify the Fool, please. Clarify the Fool. So you have Ten of Swords to clarify the Fool. So in this case, the Fool is about holding a new perspective, letting go of the old, and choosing to have a more open and curious perspective in order to consider other vantage points, in order to learn, to have like a beginner's mindset. And that's what this is. The Ten of Swords is asking you to surrender your old ways of thinking, to surrender your narrative that has come to completion. There's no more. There's no more. No other way this narrative can evolve. It's come to the end. And so you have to let it go and adopt a new way of thinking, begin a new cycle of thoughts. So the Fool invites you to step into something new, to have a beginner's mindset and consider that you might not know everything, but you can learn and you can expand your worldview, and that is so precious. And there is a lot of grace when you tackle your situations from the embodiment of the Fool. You're also more protected that way as well. Things are just a lot more smoother and cohesive and in alignment when you embody the Fool. Now let's get some Marcel's Oracle. See what else we can learn about your situation. We have message. Okay, what else do we need to know? Tough shell. So maybe there's somebody you need to send an email to, send a text to, or pick up the phone and call. There is a message that you have to deliver to somebody, and I think you're resistant to doing this because it might mean you have to, let down your guard and really be vulnerable, speak from your heart. You might have to actually, instead of walking away thinking that you're right, you might have to turn around and approach this person who has their back to you and admit your shortcomings, apologize maybe, and just invite them into a more tender conversation. So yeah, if you are feeling resistant, especially to being vulnerable and talking about your emotions with somebody, admitting wrong, admitting defeat, apologizing, any of that sort, then Spirit's really encouraging you to go there. The more resistant you are, the more impactful that's going to be for you, the more you can learn from it. So challenge yourself if you can to really send that message and open your heart to this person who has their back turned on you, turned from you. Now let's get a couple of Work Your Light messages. Group 2. Yeah. mirror who or what is triggering you. Can you admit to the mirroring that's happening here, the projection? And can you speak to this person about it while owning your own projection? I think that's the challenge here. Can you own your projection and admit this to the other person? Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So this could be a very teaching moment if you decide to go ahead and accept this challenge. You could end up being in the position of a teacher, as in through your actions you're going to demonstrate what's possible in conversation, what's possible when you are authentically relating and choosing connection above being right. That can teach not only you but the other person as well. So this challenge is a beautiful invitation to actually stepping up, empowering yourself and others around you, and raising consciousness. So it's a beautiful invitation, an opportunity if you choose to take it. The ever-unfolding rose. Interesting. Rose seems to be a theme here. So maybe that means something for some of you, because we have roses in this image too. Interesting. And the Fool is holding a rose as well. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, so I think for some of you, the rose could be synchronicity. And if it is a synchronicity for you, then I hope you are further convinced to accept this invitation and, really take on this learning opportunity, learning and teaching opportunity, because you're being cracked open to really lean into your heart space. And it's happening for you, not to you. It's all happening for you to really expand into the next version of yourself. Now let's get a couple of Moonology cards. Oh, nice. A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So this disagreement, this tension is going to reach resolution. And you have a lot that you can do in this situation to help it get there. You also have hold your vision, fixed a moon. So to me, this is choosing connection above all else. If you really make that your intention, you really commit to honoring connection beyond being right or above being right, then the conversation can go really smoothly. You have to really center yourself in that vision and that commitment to connection. So that's really necessary. You have to really give up wanting to be right. And I know that's hard for the ego, but it's possible. Your hard work is paying off at new moon in Capricorn. So being the bigger person pays off. Being the one who accepts the invitation and chooses to turn around and have a heart-to-heart, that pays off. That really does. Your hard work is paying off. Now let's guess some near future energies, and if there's any additional advice that wants to come through, that's great too. So, this is interesting because two of these cards, group 1 also got in their near future portion of the spread. So it could be a larger collective thing that's going on right now that's going to lead both groups to feeling this energy soon. We have the 6 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and 3 of Cups. The 6 of Pentacles tells us that there is going to be reciprocity soon. That's where you are headed, where you have to give as much as you can, and that feels right to you, and take as much as you need to restore balance with the external world so that your inner and outer worlds are in balance. This can mean, sharing your withholds, really letting it out and taking in what you've been refusing to take in, to create that balance in conversation and connection. This can be a sharing of resources too. So maybe that was what caused the disconnection at the beginning. It could have been a conversation about resources and what you're able to give and take. So there's going to be a balancing out that's going to happen soon, and a sense of reciprocity. The 4 of Pentacles invites you to reconsider your comfort zone. For example, in this image, this man is so afraid of losing his sense of security that he has chosen his comfort zone where nothing grows, nothing changes. He is holding onto these pentacles for dear life, and he's afraid that if he loosens his grip, they're going to be stolen from him and he's going to be left with nothing. So the comfort zone is actually carried by a sense of scarcity. We get stuck in the comfort zone when we are afraid that if we ever venture out, our sense of security will be lost, our sense of safety will be lost. And Spirit wants to remind you that this is not your fullest expression of abundance. This is not true security. This is not true safety. You are meant to go on a journey and grow and evolve until you get to the 10 of Pentacles. And this is going to pale in comparison to the 10 of Pentacles when you get there. You have no idea how good life can get for you. And you can never really know if you choose to step out of your comfort zone and welcome uncertainty, a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of risk. So, in your case, whatever you are resistant to that feels too vulnerable, recognize that the gold, the success, the connection, the love that you are seeking, the understanding, all of that is waiting on the other end. You have to let go of your comfort zone and step out there and choose to expand. There is so much more success out there, so much more love, so much more abundance. You just gotta choose to take a little bit of risk, to feel some vulnerability in order to get that thing that you deserve. So, hope that invites you further into considering this opportunity for connection, for learning and teaching. Then we have the 3 of Cups. So this is what's possible, what's going to be possible in the near future. This is the card of connection, card of joy, and having fun with friends, really laughing together, enjoying each other's company, partying, socializing. So this energy is also in the near future. You're close to this. You're really not far from this at all. But you do have to kind of, take a little leap to meet this. Now let's get one more card to close this off. What else do we need to know for the near future? Group 2. So it looks like you also need some time to yourself. Gotta rest, contemplate, meditate, and slow down a little bit, maybe to gather your thoughts and to really center yourself before you have the challenging conversation, the vulnerable conversation. So make sure you center yourself first. Rest, digest your emotions, regenerate your energy, practice some self-regulation. Rest is the best way to do this, to self-regulate. And then when you're more centered, have your conversation. All right. So that was your reading, group 2. I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how it resonated. I'm sending you so much love, light, and healing in your situation. I wish you all the best. Hope everything works out accordingly. And I'll see you very soon or in another reading. If you chose group 3, Black Obsidian, then this is your reading. Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to use the Awakened Tarot deck for your current energies, and I'm also going to get a couple cards from Marcel's Oracle deck. So, what do we need to know about your situation, group 3? What do we need to know? Group 3. Black Obsidian. Okay. So you have the Two of Cups and the King of Pentacles. You also have the Moon and the Seven of Wands. So for the Two of Cups and the King of Pentacles to come out one after another, I think for many of you this has to do with a romantic connection. Someone that you might have met recently that you feel very connected to. You could share a lot of values, a lot of beliefs, and the way you see the world is similar. Your past and have a lot of synchronicities. So you're feeling really connected to this person that has just come into your life. This person could be embodying a King of Pentacles energy right now, where they're very secure in themselves, where they're very grounded, mature. They could also have a lot of earth in their chart, in their energy in general. They could also be secure in the sense of finances, like they have a stable job and they make good money for themselves, and that's an area of life that they don't really worry about. So materially speaking, they're pretty good with their pentacles. This could also be a business connection, given that the King of Pentacles is somebody really good with his money, with his career. So you could be considering a business venture where there is this person that you feel like shares the same values as you, shares the same vision, the same mission, and so you are contemplating on seeing where this goes. There is some hesitation though, and some fear or maybe lack of clarity, because we have the moon that tells us you don't have the full picture yet. There are a lot of aspects of this that is unclear. Now you don't see, there are blind spots, and that could be creating some fear, some hesitation, some incorrect assumptions. The Seven of Wands also tells us that you could be feeling resistant. Like egoically, there's a part of you that wants to hold off and push the person away, or like ask them to take a step back. There's a part of you that's wanting to guard yourself and be self-protective for some reason. Like you don't feel entirely safe or like you can fully trust the person. So I think that's because there's just some lack of clarity, some things you don't know yet, some assumptions that you haven't clarified yet. With the moon, we have to remember that the sun always follows. So the light always shines in the end. The truth always prevails eventually. And so you might have assumptions now, but you can always, clear up those assumptions at some point. You can always ask for clarification to get the truth out of the situation. So what's needed is the card that follows. You can move forward to the sun and bring light into the situation. That's entirely possible here because this seems like a new connection. It seems like you're at the beginning of this connection, and it's very reasonable to not know everything about this person. Now let's get some Marcel's Oracle cards. Group 3. From Marcel's Oracle, we have twinning, we have freedom, and obedience. Noticing how twinning is number 2 in this deck, and we have the Two of Cups, which is almost identical in terms of the imagery. So there's a lot of alignment here between you and this other person in terms of your values, in terms of your beliefs, your worldviews, your vision in life. And that's a great sign. That's not something you should ignore. You also have freedom and obedience. And what I'm hearing is, don't make yourself small and compliant. Also, don't limit yourself by making assumptions based on the past. You don't have to keep yourself in this cage. There is so much more possibility here that you can explore if you just approach it slightly different to the way you have approached similar situations in the past. There is a way you can go about your situation where you can get a lot more truth and freedom and empowerment. So ask questions, question your thought processes, clarify your assumptions with reality, with this person, so that you don't have to resort to making yourself small and complying with your limiting beliefs. Now let's get some Work Your Light cards. What does group 3 need to hear? Oh, nice. You have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So far it looks like things are pretty promising. There's a lot of possibility here. This connection is pretty high vibe. Things are looking promising. And I'm also getting the sense with this card, and also Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. You could have asked for help and guidance in the past from the universe, especially if this is in regards to business. For example, you could have asked for more support, like, I can't do this all on my own. I need a team. I need a partner. This is getting really overwhelming. And now the universe is finally answering your call by bringing these people into your life who are the perfect match to your energy and hold a similar vision. This also applies to if this is a romantic partnership. You could have asked for somebody stable and secure and, mature enough. And the universe is finally answering that call and putting the two of you together, where there's a lot of potential for the two of you to create a long-lasting, lifelong partnership. So this is divine orchestration. This person has come into your life because your energies are aligned. They're helpers in the subtle realms, helping you get to the truth of things. So continue to ask for support, continue to ask for guidance. You can do this by just meditating and waiting to receive downloads. You can also journal, write your questions and concerns on a sheet of paper, and then turn it around and see, what comes out when you auto journal and what downloads come through you as you channel. So that's another way. But continue to seek guidance. There are helpers in the subtle realms. You also have Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So again, especially if this is for business, this partnership could be the perfect thing for you to finally take the next step in your business in terms of scaling maybe, or finally carry out your mission. So this could be the very next thing, the next step, the next level that you've been wanting for a while. This is perhaps asking you to step up and take yourself more seriously. Now let's get some Moonology cards. We have communication is key, new moon in Gemini. Yeah, so do not run with your assumptions. Make sure to clarify your assumptions with reality. Be honest about your concerns, and maybe some limiting beliefs as well. and work through them. You don't have to run with them and take them as if they're the truth. Now let's get some cards for near future energies. And if there's any additional advice, please allow them to come through as well, Spirit. What else do we need to know for group 3, near future energies? Near future energies. That looks about right. Nice, okay. You have the Empress as your bottom deck energy, and you also have the Queen of Swords, the World, and the Ace of Cups. They all have somewhat the same colors. Interesting. The Queen of Swords is about standing your ground, being assertive, and speaking your truth, not letting other people walk over you. She doesn't hold anything back. She speaks the truth in a clear and concise manner that gets the point across. She respects her boundaries and she demands other people to respect her boundaries. And she communicates everything in a non-emotional, rational, logical way. It's like she's in a man's world and she plays their game better than they can, because that's the only way she can get by. So be swift with your sword. If you have to be the Queen of Swords at any point, embody her fully. In a romantic connection, make sure you're naming your boundaries. Name when something is too much, when you are uncomfortable. Name when, there is a withhold and you need to discuss something. You have to set that example so the person knows what to expect moving forward. Do not people please. Be very careful not to people please and disempower yourself in that way. And with a business connection, if you are negotiating anything, make sure that you are speaking your mind and you are using logic and reason to really hold your ground. Do not let people walk over you or take advantage of your kindness. Communicate everything in a logical and rational way that's clear and concise, so you get to the point, so it really lands with people. And be very clear about your boundaries. Negotiate carefully. Write everything in a contract, an agreement. Make everything clear. So that's the Queen of Swords. If you have to embody her fully. And we have the World and the Ace of Cups as well, which is beautiful. So the World is things coming together, things finally beginning to make sense, feeling the sense of like a lot of elements coming together and creating a sense of wholeness and completion. And that feels really good. This could be the ending of a chapter and the start of a new one, given that we have an ace here. This could be a lesson learned, finally putting an end to a specific period, chapter of your life. Things are going to change drastically from here onwards. The Ace of Cups tells us that there's going to be a drastic energetic shift where you're going to start seeing your world very differently than what you're used to. You're going to start seeing yourself very differently. This is the feeling of waking up one morning and just not really knowing, not really being able to put your finger on it, but knowing that something has changed. Something is in the air. The way I feel about life is somewhat different. And so this is a really big shift that is incoming. The way you feel about life is changing for the better. Things are going to feel a lot lighter, a lot smoother, and cohesive moving forward. It's kind of what I'm thinking about as I look at this image of the world. Like, things are going to be cohesive. The pieces are going to fall into place. The puzzle is complete. This is having a team, having a solid connection, having all the elements in place where there are some things that you're not going to have to worry about anymore moving forward. And that's going to feel really good. That's going to help you let go of some emotions and really open up your heart and live life in a more softer, gentler, emotional, heart-centered way. And I'm going to get one more card from the Moonology deck before we go. Oh, I love that. Your hard work is paying off at New Moon in Capricorn. So again, the difficulties are coming to an end. All the hard work that you've done on your own is finally paying off. And you're now going to be able to share that workload with somebody, share that burden with someone. Hold your vision, fixed moon. I guess Spirit also wants you to know that you need to be very clear about the direction you are headed and communicate that as often as is needed. Make sure that the other person is always in on your vision and how it is evolving. Make sure you are always on the same page. So communicate often about that, especially at the beginning, so they know what they're getting themselves into. Hold your vision. Do not compromise your vision. And that is your reading, Group 3. I hope that you found this reading helpful. Let me know in the comments below if it resonated, if this was more of a romantic connection or a business connection for you. I'm sending you so much love, light, and healing. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. If you don't already know, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform for creating stunning websites and hosting your online presence. So whether you're selling a physical product or selling your services, courses, memberships, Squarespace has you covered. Squarespace scheduling allows customers to view your real-time calendar and schedule their own appointments. You can send and manage invoices, offer packages, discounts and subscriptions, and so much more. With Squarespace membership sites, you can sell access to online courses and classes, videos, paid newsletters, communities, and more. And with their social media tools, you can also easily integrate all your social media accounts to your site to grow your following and connect your community. There's so much you can do on Squarespace, so check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to my link, squarespace.com/ediyasmr, to save 10% off of your first website or domain. Thanks so much, Squarespace, and thank you for listening, for watching. I'm sending you so much love, light, and healing. And I'll see you very soon in the next one.